Hey everybody, CamiBaker.com here, Mingle to Millions. Mingle to Millions, the art and science of building business relationships and mastering referrals. And we are on day three of the challenge so that we can have up to 30 highly qualified leads in 30 days with as little as 30 minutes a day. Cami, I don't have time to network. How in the world do you find leads with as little as 30 minutes a day? Well, whether it's face-to-face, Facebook, or on the phone, there are all kinds of different ways that we can network. Now remember, I am the NetWebbing. It's about NetWebbing now, queen. So networking doesn't work because it wastes time with random activity. NetWebbing leverages time through planned strategy. So today's challenge of the 7-day challenge is that we're going to talk about the face-to-face interaction. So we want to set the intention before we even go to an event so that we pay attention at the event to who we're being and how we are introducing ourselves and how we're interacting with the other people so that we have the retention of the resources, relationships, and revenue that rock. Today we're going to focus on setting the intention before actually going to an event. And remember, I always say networking isn't just a place you go or something that you put on your schedule. But in this case, let's talk about that. Let's talk about this being a place you go. So we want to set the intention. We want to NetWeb. We want to create a web of people and resources and relationships that generate revenue and income and impact and influence and all that fun stuff. So let's start with setting the intention before we go to the event. For example, you're going to a physical event. This plays in beautifully with what we talked about yesterday with the research, reach out, and relationship build. So research, reach out, and relationship build should and could be done before you go to an event. Find out who's going to be speaking there, look along the side for the meetup group, see who's going to be in attendance, et cetera, so that you can reach out to people and start relationship building before you even go. But now we're hopping in the car and we're heading on over to that event. So our tips and strategies for today are about getting to the event early, number one. Now, that might seem kind of common sense to some people. It might be groundbreaking for some, but for me, I was taught a long time ago, 15 minutes early is on time is late, and late is flat out unacceptable, especially when it comes to networking. Because if you're going to take the time, the 30 minutes or an hour to drive there, you're going to be there for an hour, hour and a half, whatever that looks like, and then an hour drive home, why not go ahead and set yourself up for more success by being there early? Few things that being there early will achieve for you. Number one, the movers and the shakers and the leaders and the speakers are there early. They're the ones that are setting up, and this gives you a chance to interact with them. When you get there early, another thing about getting there early is offer to volunteer and help out. Sit at the table, sign people in, put their name on their name tag so that you get to know them, they get to know you. The movers and the shakers, the leaders, the people that you really, really want to be networking, netwebbing with are people that want to know that you're willing and able to help out. So when you offer to help out, you're showing that you're heart-centered, that you're a giver, that you're contributing, that you're willing to collaborate, number one. Number two, when you're there 15, 30 minutes early and you're helping set up seats or put flyers in the chairs or whatever that is, you're also having extra time to make chit-chat, make conversation, build rapport. Let's say, for example, you're a speaker yourself. You get to the event early and you're talking to the person who leads the group and they're going to have a speaker in a few minutes. Clearly, this group has speakers. So now that you're there early and you're chatting with them and you're putting pens out on the tables or signing people in, now you can ask them, hey, what's your criteria to have speakers? And you can just chat, and before you know it, they're inviting you to speak. So the point is, getting there early is so absolutely imperative. When you get there early, you can offer to help out and you start to meet people. So imagine this. You're there early, you're helping out, you're at the table signing people in, you're meeting Mary, the real estate agent, and John, the mortgage guy. Now you can start doing things like what I call unofficial ambassador. You can start introducing people to each other because you were there early enough that you met different people when they were just coming in and you learned a little bit about them. You start connecting people. Law of reciprocity says, when I do something for you, you naturally want to do something for me. And anytime I'm at an event and I start introducing people, people naturally start saying, hey, Cami, you need to meet this person. You need to meet that person. It's just natural. It's what we do. So when you start that ball rolling, that really helps too in the physical situation. That when you're at these events, that you focus on the few and don't get overwhelmed by the many, right? When I talk about mingling to millions, it doesn't mean we want to get 1 million business cards at every event. As a matter of fact, we want to stop doing that. Unless you're the speaker on the stage and you're offering out for people to jump on your mailing list or something, that's very different. But when you're in the room and you're grabbing a bunch of cards or you're throwing a bunch of cards out, you're just wasting a lot of time. You're not building relationship. People don't remember you. You don't remember them. You get home, you got this huge handful of cards. You're overwhelmed. You never follow up anyway. So let's stop doing that. Focus on the few. So our tips for today have to do with going to live networking events. Research, reach out, relationship build. Watch that video from yesterday to learn a little bit more about that so that you can actually research and reach out to people who are going to be at the event. That's one way to benefit hugely at a live event. The next thing is you want to get there early so that you can offer to help out, so that you can meet the movers and shakers, so that you have that quality time. Guys, I am telling you, getting to events early has made me hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not more, over the years. Back when I was in network marketing, I got to events early every single weekend. And because of that, I built strong relationships with the really, really high up people that made hundreds of thousands a month. And so once we got the room all set up, it was time for just, hey, Cami, how's your business? Hey, Patrick, what would I do in this situation? In other words, I got multi-million-dollar mentoring because I was there early enough and offered to help out and got in the room with those people and developed relationships that I still have today. So you want to get there early and you want to focus on the few. Even though you're helping out and you're signing in 100 people or you're meeting a lot of people, that doesn't mean you got to grab all their business cards or spray your cards all over them. What we want to do is we want to focus on the few. Focus on 3, 5 maybe, but 3. Focus on 3 people that you can have a really meaningful conversation with so that when you do follow up, now it's not overwhelming. You've only got 3. You can follow up with 3 people. And you can make it personal. Make little notes on a card. Make notes in your cell phone if you have to. But make notes about what that person said, how you interacted, so that when you follow up, you actually have something concrete to follow up about. You can send them a link to the next networking event that you know about. Or you can offer a coupon to the local Chinese restaurant that came up in conversation. Or you can mention that your kids go to the same college as their kids because of the conversation you had. In other words, you can remind them who you are because you actually took the time to get to know them and they will remember you. So that's my tip for today. Find a actual live event that you haven't been to. Challenge yourself. Go to something new that you haven't been to before. Look at who's running that event. Research. Just a few minutes, not hours and days, just a few minutes. See if it's Kit Pang who's running the Boston Speaks groups, or if it's Kevin of Friends of Kevin Willett, or whoever it is that's running the group, and actually reach out to them. Start to build that relationship before you go. Get there early. Offer to help out. Create conversation before they're overwhelmed with too many people. Guys, it's tiny, tiny little tweaks like this that will help you to mingle your way to millions and master referrals by building business relationships. Building business relationships. Let's not treat people like a business card. Let's not treat them as leads. Now, the name of the program that I have coming up is called Up to 30 Highly Qualified Leads in 30 Days in as little as 30 minutes a day. And I use the word leads in the program because I know it's a word that everybody can relate to. We all know what leads are. But I don't look at people as leads. I always like to say we want to plant our seeds, not look for leads. And as we're planting our seeds, we never know if that person is a fabulous resource, a wonderful relationship, someone who's going to turn into revenue. Are they going to be impactful in our community? Are they going to create income? Are they going to help us in our influence in the world? I have been introduced recently to some of the biggest blue marlins. I always say you cannot attract a blue marlin when you're swimming in a fishbowl. And I have been attracting so many blue marlins lately, and it all comes from having these little tweaks and creating these relationships everywhere and creating that NetWeb of connections. And now every day people are emailing Cami, you need to meet this person, so-and-so, you need to meet Cami Baker. I've met the biggest blue marlin. I just talked about him yesterday, and he sent the most beautiful email introducing me to someone that is at a hugely high level. And he said, please let me introduce to you Cami Baker, the next rock star of all stages. Like, said just some really beautiful things. And that's what I want for you guys. I want you to have those types of business relationships and those types of mastering referrals types of techniques. And that's what this is all about. So the challenge today is find a physical event that you haven't been to yet. It may be that you go this week. It may be that there's not one until next week. It may be that you can find one online. But even if you are going online, maybe you can't show up early and help out with the chairs and things, but you can research who's going to be on that webinar, and you can reach out and you can tell them what a great job they're doing and that you're going to be on the webinar, et cetera, et cetera. But find a physical one, like a real place where you can walk into, because there's nothing better than some eye-to-eye contact, some handshaking, some belly-to-belly human interaction. Guys, let's bridge the humanity gap. Bridge the humanity gap. I would love to actually hear, if you want to comment below, what events that you recommend. What events that you've heard about in your area that you can share with all the rest of us. Listen, we're on the worldwide NetWeb, and we all need to know about great venues. For example, the one coming up in June on the 21st with Gen Boston that my new friend Michael Mayer is running. So there's just all kinds of events. There's somewhere to go every day of the week. So get out there to an actual face-to-face interaction, get there early, offer to help out, and I look forward to hearing your results right here on our next interaction. Take care.